And welcome back as we start the fourth quarter. Belle Chasse with the ball, facing a 2nd and 12. Men in motion. Devin Silv gets it, and again, nothing doing. Some of the Brusly players were acting like maybe they'd recovered a fumble, but the officials just spotted and were ready to go.
Yeah, once forward progress is stopped and that official toots on the whistle, the play is over.
So 3rd and long. We're going to check to the sideline, and you got 4 receivers in the formation.
Coach Yupa always does a good job signaling in the offensive plays.
They're throwing it, and it's going to be intercepted all the way back at the 37-yard line. So essentially there's your punt.
A rare Cardinal mistake on offense tonight.
So Brusly will start over. They're going to spot it at the 38-yard line. Again, good defensive play there by Brusly. And Hicks, you really had nothing to lose because, like I said, if you pick it off there, it's essentially that's your punt. So the field position changes anyway, and Brusly gets the ball back. Everyone in tight. Going to hand it off to Alexander, and this time he bounces it to the outside. Turns on the Jets to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 15, all the way down to the 10 before he's run out of bounds there.
Well, that was a trap play that was clogged up in the middle. The blocking was actually stacked up, and Alexander just bounced it wide.
So 1st down, goal to go for Brusly. Just inside the 10. Hand it off to number 31, who's got an opening, and he gets into the end zone for the touchdown, Sam Williams.
And you have to give Brusly credit. That was a gag play to the left slot, bug sweep, whatever you want to define it as. But the guard kicked out, now the guard turned up. And I'll tell you what, it was a beautiful hole that time for the Brusly Panthers.
So an extra point attempt coming, as it looks like maybe they'll go ahead and go for 2 here. Manola under center. They're going to hand it off. And he's into the end zone, Darian Cobbs, for the 2-point conversion. So that's going to make the score 49 for Belle Chasse and 29 for Brusly. So a 20-point game here. And again, if you're Belle Chasse, do you try and maybe run a little bit something different on offense this time?
Well, I think Belle Chasse, I'd have to say, has a game well in hand. They've been able to control the line of scrimmage. Brusly keeps, you got to give them, credit. They keep fighting. They haven't quit, and that was a nice drive.
And they scored that one in a hurry. It only took them 2 plays. And you see Taron Ancalad is still trying to get loose on the near sideline. Maybe just one more dose of him can really just put it away for the Cardinals. Any kind of sustained drive, I think, here would essentially end the game.
And, of course, the clock is Brusly's enemy besides the 20-point deficit.
So Cardinals come back onto the field. Quite possibly an onside kick. Something you definitely want to watch for if you're the Cardinals. Kicker approaches, and this time he's actually going to hit it all the way into the end zone. a very slow rolling touchback and kind of dangerously for the Cardinals as they just kind of let that one go. And if that ball falls dead about 2 feet sooner, that could have been a huge swing of events.
Yeah, the game could have been in jeopardy if Brusly recovers actually could have recovered out right outside the goal line.
Could have essentially just picked that up and fell down into the end zone for a touchdown there. Instead, it is Cardinal football at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Hicks in the shotgun with 4 receivers. Calls for the football, fakes a handoff, throws a pass, completes it to Trey Green. He's going to be hit by several Brusly defenders and goes down. Gain of maybe a yard. And Brusly really had that one snuffed out.
Of course, Anklod, being out of the ball game, does have a tendency to slow the Cardinal offense down somewhat.
10-20 and counting, 4th quarter. Cardinals still with a 20-point lead. Hicks checks to the sideline. Hicks is going to keep it himself. He's going to run up the middle. He gets to about the 26-yard line, so gain of 6. So a 3rd down here.
Well, the Cardinals have it down to single digits now.
Hicks, following some blocks, is going to have the 1st down. He's to the 33-yard line. And most importantly, that will keep the clock moving here. Though we'll stop while they reset the chains.
Yeah, Cardinals seem to be content just to work on their run block, and they've done a good job with that. When that quarterback runs the ball, Brusly just doesn't have that extra man up at the line of scrimmage to account for him.
3 backs in the backfield with Hicks. He's going to hand it off, and it's Robert Kennedy. And look at Kennedy. You can't take him down. If he had one of those old pull-away jerseys on, he probably would have scored. He gets about 12 yards and a 1st down.
Well, you can see the weight program that Coach Harrison was talking about, because the guy had him by the jersey. But, I mean, with the leg strength that Kennedy possesses from lifting weights, I mean, he just dragged him.
So 4 receivers, Hicks in the backfield, calls for the football. He's going to fake the handoff to Sylvie, overthrows the receiver. And Devin Hammond, the defender for Brusly, the only one that had a chance at it. And if he catches it, I think he goes to the house. And once again, Brusly's going to come back at some of the things that happened in this 4th quarter. You talk about game of inches, and we've said it a lot. That really could have been a game changer there. Maybe even worse for Belle Chasse. The clock stopped after that one. This time they're going to hand it to Devin Sylvan. He's going to go. 20, 10, 5, touchdown.
And no one even close to him. That's the opportune blocking.
Brusly had cheated all 11 defenders right up to the line of scrimmage. All he had to do was get past the 1st line. He does that. The hole was wide enough where, Coach, you probably could have got the 1st down. And Devin Silv does what he needs to and takes it all the way. 9:15 on the clock.
Cardinals making it look easy, you know, with 56 points on the board. And Russell gets ready to make it 57.
Bad snap. And Anklod's going to try to pick it up. It's going to be a missed conversion, but nothing Austin Russell could do about that one. So your score with 9:14 to go in the 4th quarter. Belle Chasse 55 and Brusly 29. We'll take a break and have more of your Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week after this. Austin Russell with the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Approaches, steps into it, and it's going to be taken by the return man Green at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be taken down right at the 20.
And Jason, I have to tell you, looking in the stands as we have a break in the play right now, we have the former mayor of Boothville, Venice, Jerry Blanchard, with Napa in attendance here tonight. Of course, his father, Cop Blanchard, was one of the graduates of the French Market Academy, as they used to call it. And I know Jerry's enjoying this ball game with the Cardinals way out in front.
As are the majority of people on the near sideline. Nice crowd turned out. Next week's going to be homecoming, so might even have a bigger turnout, especially with the Cardinal team going to, for all intents and purposes, be 3-0 going into that game. Up the middle, it's Cobbs. Give him a gain of about 6 on the play.
Yeah, the Cardinals and the Saints both undefeated. But I guess, you know, it makes sense. I mean, you could almost put both teams in the Vatican, the Cardinals and the Saints.
You're right about that. Second down, throw the pitch, and Casimir Antoine had this one figured out. But a flag's going to go down. Not exactly sure.
Well,
going to call a horse collar.
I think the official just wanted to practice throwing his flag that time.
Yeah, that just seemed like a legitimate tackle. Antoine had him kind of by the back of the jersey.
Yeah, he was on the side, and, you know, he wasn't, I wouldn't consider that a horse collar at all.
So one way or the other, it's a 15-yard penalty. Clock stopped with 8:35 to go.
Well, 8:36 in the fourth quarter. The Belle Chasse Cardinals 56 and the Brusly Panthers 29.
Alexander, kind of the workhorse tonight. He's to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, in Brusly they must definitely call him Alexander the Great because he has really been carrying the Panthers.
So it's going to be second down, about 4 yards to go. 4 receivers, 1 back in the backfield. Again, Connor Manola in at quarterback. Spins, but he spins right into, guess who? Robert Kennedy. One more time.
And tell you what, he might be the Attorney General. Robert Kennedy himself, reincarnated, because he's certainly laying down the law out there on the Brusly Panthers tonight.
Justice is served, and all the way back to the 30-yard line. It's going to bring up second down and about 17. Again, everyone in tight. Hand it off. And that was Alexander. This will bring up fourth down. I'm going to correct myself, and this is going to be a punting situation. So Darian Cobbs will come in to kick it away, and Devin Silv goes back to return.
Inside of 7 minutes left in the game. The Belle Chasse band and the pep squad really have been putting on a good show tonight, enjoying the music. It takes so many different factions to really have a great football program. You know, besides the players in the weight room, you need the band and the cheerleaders and the pep squad, and of course you need the fans. And the Cardinals have gotten an A+ in all categories tonight.
The Cardinals took a timeout there with 6:42 on the clock. It looked like as they went out to return the punt, they only sent 10 guys onto the field. You could see a number of coaches on the near side counting as they were going along. So, you know, stay tuned. At the conclusion of this game, we'll announce our player of the week, and I think we've got some candidates, some with some candidate-type names and some that maybe have already received some awards from us. So, obviously, some good choices for us tonight.
Well, the math teacher would not be happy with that 10 men on the field. Of course, A&M goes a little bit overboard with the 12th man.
Low snap. Good job by Cobbs to get it and punts it away, and it's going to be rolling down and dead at the 28-yard line.
You know, Jason, just bringing up a coaching point now on a punt like that, if you're leading in the game, you would not want to touch the ball. You'd want to let the clock run. However, if you're behind like Brusly, you want to stop that clock and down the ball as fast as possible.
So there was a flag behind the play. It was a hold against the Cardinals, so back them up 10 yards from that final spot. Again, not necessarily the field position really the problem here. 6:33 on the clock. Cardinals comfortably in front by 26 right now.
And it looks like we're going to make it without the rain tonight, Jason.
Yeah, and that might be the biggest victory of them all. So ball spotted at the 18-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. And now Belle Chasse takes a timeout. So we'll step away for a moment and come back with more of your Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week after this. Welcome back to the Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week. 1st and 10 after the timeout from the 18-yard line. Hicks calls for the football. He's going to hand it off. Silv maybe gains a yard. And he's taken down right there.
Now, some people might question, you know, why is Coach Harrison calling a timeout, or why is he getting on some players with such a lead? But this is actually when you can do some coaching and make sure that you keep their focus and try to work on the small details that you have to work on early in the season.
And we've got an officials timeout now with 6:03 on the clock. Not too much time ticking away there. So again, next week, don't forget, we will be back in Belle Chasse for homecoming as the Cardinals are set to take on the Gators of South Terrebonne. And Coach, we know as Plaquemines Parish residents that Gators usually don't fare too well down here in Plaquemines Parish.
Yeah, South Terrebonne is a 4A team, and tonight's opponent, Brusly, is a 3A team. So South Terrebonne should have a few more people and a little bit better size than the Brusly Panthers. And the Cardinals will have their work cut out for them. But, of course, it's homecoming, and, you know, that's such a special week in every high school kid's memories. And let's hope the Cardinals can walk away with some good memories next week, just like they're doing, or in the process of doing this week.
So a check to the sidelines on 2nd down, 9. Hicks calls for the football. Check one more time. Third play calls the charge. You can see the coach calling the play. Man in motion. Snap it. Hand it to Devin Silv. Again, big hole. And here we go again. Devin Silv. He's going to take it all the way to the end zone.
Same identical play that they ran for the touchdown previously with Silv.
So this is really, you know, it's a game of segments. You had Taron Oncolad was maybe the first quarter and the first half performer. Robert Kennedy filled in that middle time, but now it seems like it's Devin Silv time here in the closing moments. And, you know, it's not like Belle Chasse is trying to run up the score. I mean, they're essentially running the ball up the middle, but there's no one behind that initial line of defense for Brusly. That's kind of been the case most of the night.
Yeah, it's just, you know, so difficult for the Panthers to try and concentrate on stopping one person because there's so many weapons that Belle Chasse has.
The extra point is up, and it's no good. Maybe he's getting tired of the waning moments of the night. So the score with 5:31 to go, fourth quarter, Belle Chasse 61 and Brusly 29. We'll step away and come back with more Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week after this. And welcome back to the Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week as Austin Russell kicks it, kind of pooches it, and it's going to be taken in by one of the Brusly players right at the 35-yard line. And that was number 30, Matt Dupuy on the reception. Not sure if that was the design or not. Like we joked that Austin Russell might be getting tired.
Yeah, he certainly has a right to do so after 61 points have been put on the board here tonight. And this, with 5:27 in the fourth quarter, this is going to be a great opportunity to see some of the younger kids for Belle Chasse. And should get an opportunity to play very soon.
You talk about a guy that's hard on himself. Austin Russell really looks dejected on the sideline as they run the same play up the middle to Alexander. Gains about 3 on the play. Peyton Cooper in on the stop for the Cardinal defense.
And Peyton has been a stalwart here for the defensive unit in the first part of this season here. Number 12, Peyton Cooper.
You know, a lot of these guys that play in those linebacker positions seeing a lot of success in this Cardinal defense. On second down, this almost looks like a busted play as the pass is knocked down. I believe that was Darius Franklin on the far side. And if you look on the screen, you can see the 3 guys up front for Belle Chasse. This is something that, you know, we talked about it a little in the first game of the year. You don't have a lot of high school teams that can put that many big guys right up on the line of scrimmage, but they've got 3 guys between Eric Funes, Gregory Hines, and Cedric Miller that really can just clog up an entire offensive line.
And really, that's their job. I mean, you know, they're just supposed to block a gap and make sure that those linebackers, Peyton Cooper and Robert Kennedy, that they can maneuver back there and free them up. And they've done a great job with that aspect. Now, I was surprised that Brusly threw the ball because, you know, at this point you want to tell the bus driver to crank that bus up and get back on the road before they get into the 70s on you.
So 4th down, short yardage. Hand it off. It's going to be a first down, and this time it's Cobbs. He's right at midfield, and it's going to be a first down for the Panthers.
If you notice, they went back over number 71, the big left tackle. And they'd been very successful, but they seemed to get away from that play for some reason.
So 1st and 10, ball just on the Brusly side of the midfield stripe.
And they flip-flopped the big boy to the right side this time.
They're going to run Cobbs one more time in the middle. He's right at the 40-yard line. Going to be taken down there, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout for an injury. Because it looks like, well, Austin Mesa went down in a heap. But now he's up. And I think they're going to take him out of the game here. Robert Kennedy and Cedric Miller check back in.
Well, the Cardinals are not giving them any slack with their first defense. They're still out on the field.
Alexander goes up the middle and gets about 2 to the Cardinal 38-yard line. Big Gregory Hines on the stop there.
Gregory's done his job well tonight. Cedric Miller, number 95 and 94. What a tandem.
So 2nd down, 8 yards to go. 3:15 in the 4th quarter, and the clock's still running. Brusly's going to hand it off to Alexander deep. DeCluett hits him. He's just inside the 35.
And, of course, you possibly heard the announcer in the background announcing Zachary DeCluett, the pride of Arlington.
Sounds like we got a battle of the bands going on the far side as they're going back and forth. Cobbs up the middle. Near a first down. He's going to be just short, maybe about a half a yard. So another 4th down coming here
You have to tip your hat to Brusly. I mean, I'm impressed with their, spirit. I mean, they just keep pounding away, but they haven't put their heads down, and that's so important for high school kids to always try to make every play their best play.
So again, 4th down, about a yard to go. Cobb's the lone running back. Gets it. He's going to have the 1st down and then some. Give him a gain of about 8 or 9 as he's inside the 25-yard line. Clock stopped as they moved the chains. 1:57 to go. And it looks like we're going to have an officials timeout as we've got a player for the Cardinals down right now. And it looks like it's once again, it's 25. That's Austin Mesa. So looks like maybe just a cramp there, but while he's attended to, we'll step away and come back with more than likely the conclusion of your Plaquemines Prep game of the week right after this. And welcome back to the action on 1st down. They're going to hand it off, and it looks like it's Alexander. Gets to the outside, runs through some tackles. Nice piece of running down to the goal line, and he is just short. He's going to be marked down inside the 1, and Carlsell Alexander, we've talked about him being the workhorse tonight for Brusly, and really just a foot short of getting another touchdown there on the board.
And this late in the game and with the score as lopsided as this, Brusly's really taking it to the Cardinals right now with 1:38.
So clock running, minute and a half to go. And a flag's going to go down. And the referee is going to count it off here, but do we have 12 guys on the field? And we do, so.
The math teachers are going crazy tonight.
So Belle Chasse with 10 earlier and Brusly with 12 now.
I don't know if they'd have made Noah's Ark by twos, by pairs.
Well, at least they were always in even numbers. They didn't have 11, they had 10s and 12s. So now back them up to the 6. They're going to hand it to Alexander, and he's going to get that touchdown. Actually, the ball came out, but it's going to be a touchdown. So Alexander gets the touchdown that he kind of rightfully deserved on that previous play. The score is going to be 61-35.
"96 points. I mean, this is unbelievable. What high school football has moved into this particular area where they can score that many points.
So we'll see how they handle this conversion, as it looks like there is some confusion there. Looks like everyone in tight. Cobb's the one running back. Run the wing T. They're going to throw it into the end zone. It's going to be caught. Number 26, Jalen Green. So 61-37. May as well put 98 points on the board. Minute 18 to go.
Well, Brusly will have some things to build on as they take their long trip back to Baton Rouge in that area on the west bank of the river. And, of course, the Cardinals are walking away with, a tremendous offensive display tonight.
So again,
multitude of backs.
Yeah, a game like this, and, a game that was never really so one-sided that you had all your second stringers in. It seemed like the starters kind of went the whole way. So really a chance for Coach Harrison to kind of just see what he had, kind of play a little bit of everybody on offense and see what was out there. And I think they learned a few things about different guys on the offensive side of the ball. And even defensively, they kind of just made the stops when it counted. When they needed to get a fourth down stop, they did. When they needed to get a big sack, they did. So the defense, although they weren't exactly, they gave up 37 points, they were opportunistic in what they were able to do.
And here comes the onside kick.
Onside kick coming. Now we know this guy can kick it long, Cobbs, but can he kick it short? Here's the question. He rolls it and actually is going to be still on the ground, and it's going to be Brusly football, I believe. It is. That might go down as one of the ugliest effective onside kicks ever, as it just took the worst hop at the wrong time. The Cardinals seemingly were in the right spot to get it, and it just hopped up in the air right over the head of the man, the Belle Chasse player, and it bounced around. I think Belle Chasse was so sure they had it that they had guys looking the other way down the field, and a heads-up play by Brusly to fall on the football.
And Belle Chasse had a lot of youngsters in there. I noticed number 42, as we spoke about earlier, Brent Dingler, was out on the field, the special teams that time.
Handed off to the running back, Williams, and he's going to be all the way down to the 28-yard line. Clock's going to stop at 1:02 while the chains move. Brusly gets to the line quickly. We're inside of the final minute. Looks like a kind of a busted play, but Williams has it. And he's going to be taken down right at the 20-yard line.
When Brusly pulls those guards, I mean, they are an effective football team.
So clock running. And Brusly, as Carl shows you the scoreboard there, possibly with a chance to get another play, maybe two off. They're going to hand it off to the running back, Alexander. Gets to the outside, runs right into the back of his block. Clock's going to stop, 23 seconds. He's at the 10-yard line. And Brusly just took a timeout with 23 seconds left.
And Jason, they had the clock stopped. I mean, you know, they had the first down. They could have spiked the ball and saved the timeout, or could have just run a sweep with Alexander is what I'd look for, probably to the wide side of the field.
Well, again, you don't have a 25-point play in the book, so you can't exactly complete the comeback here. But
right, you want to run something where you might get out of bounds, have an opportunity to use your timeouts.
So it's going to be first down. Ball's just outside the 10-yard line at the 11. Manola's going to fake the handoff, keep it himself. He gets to the outside. He's got a block. If he can follow it, he's into the end zone. So Manola scores. 16 seconds on the clock. And that's going to bring the score to 61-43.
And Jason, we're over 100 points.
Maybe the Brusly coaches had bets on whether or not there'd be 100 points scored in this game, so they had to.
I'd hate to look at the over-under.
I guarantee you it wasn't 100. So a two-point conversion attempt coming as Manola is going to keep it himself, rolls, throws a pass, and it's going to be incomplete. As he had a man open, he tried to get it to Sam Williams in the back of the end zone, but it's incomplete. So 14 seconds on the clock. And we came to a football game and a basketball game broke out.
Yeah, there was a lot of things bouncing around tonight, and the score was one of them.
So it looks like we're going to get another attempt at an onside kick here. And you would think you're going to, if you look at who's coming out to defend this kick, it's not really a hands team. Just kind of the big blocking guys up front. So we'll see what they're going to do here.
Well, it was successful last time. Let's see if lightning strikes twice.
I think Corey Silva is the hands team as he snuck in right there at the end. Takes a funny bounce, and this time there's no signal from the officials, but I would assume the Cardinals have it. Cardinals do have the
Number
onside
58.
kick.
It came
So,
up with that.
Brandon Usey. We talk about
Sophomore.
offensive lineman there.
And with 13 seconds left, it looks like the Cardinals probably will go into the victory formation.
If they have one, Freddie Smith is in the game at quarterback.
Or maybe
He's in the shotgun with four receivers and a back. And he's going to take the snap, hand it off. Right up the middle is Justin Phillips. And that's going to do it here as the clock runs out. Finally, Cardinals in a high-scoring affair win it. Your score, Belle Chasse 61, Brusly 43. We'll take a break and come back to wrap things up on your Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week after this. And welcome back to your Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week as we're here to wrap things up from Belle Chasse. The Cardinals take it in a big way tonight with a final score of 61-43, 104 total points scored. And, you know, we talk about your Plaquemines Prep Player of the Week and seemingly a lot of candidates and a lot of guys we talked about. But, you know, there are guys on this team that don't always get the credit that they deserve, guys that are contributing, and we talked about it a little bit during the broadcast, guys contributing in ways that Belle Chasse is not used to having contribute. So, Coach, I'll let you go ahead and give the honors for tonight's Player of the Week.
Well, Jason and I decided that one of the unsung heroes on this Cardinal team would definitely be Austin Russell. I mean, his extra points, his kickoffs, and then his game-saving tackle before half was just an outstanding effort by Austin Russell tonight on special teams.
Yeah, we talk about it. The one he missed at the end, he was so frustrated that he missed. You know, it's that's a long night for any kicker. I mean, he kicked about 7 or 8 extra points over the course of the night. So, again, Austin Russell, he saved a touchdown in the process, which, you know, the way this game kind of ended could have been a big difference. So, again, congratulations, Austin Russell, our Plaquemines Prep Player of the Week. That's going to do it. We'll be back here next week for homecoming night as Belle Chasse is set to take on the South Terrebonne Gators. The band's going to play us out of here. For Carl Johnson behind the camera and the coach, Amos Cormier, I'm Jason Tonglet. Thanks for watching your Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week.